You're watching Spotlight, a production of Culture in Maine, York's cultural showcase. I'm Carla Christopher, poet, publisher, and producer. Join me, along with editor, musical guru, and video extraordinaire Jay Schmuck, plus wild outdoorsman and videographer, along with technical extraordinaire Cliff Kern, and all of our friends as we go behind the scenes and get into the underground of what's really going on in the arts and cultural amazing explorations that are happening in South Central Pennsylvania. You'll see everything from art to music to dance to theater, and you'll also get to meet the people who really make it happen, find out how and why, along with some great studio performances, some amazing on-the-street footage. You'll also get the real story, and that's what we're here to shine a spotlight on. Let's go.
As most of you know, York City Fire Department lost two of our brothers, Ivan Flanscha and Zachary Anthony, and two others, Assistant Chief Greg Altland and Eric Swanson, were injured. These four firefighters were heroically battling hot spots that persisted as a result of a fire that began almost 16 hours before. Since releasing this information last night, we have received hundreds of calls, texts, and social media messages from across the country from people sharing their support for the friends, families, and the fellow firefighters of the fallen. Today, representatives from the International Association of Firefighters are on hand to help assist our local union in providing services to our families. The IAFF will also be working with the families and supporting organizations to coordinate any memorial services to be held at a later date. We have no further information yet on these services and their times. The York Professional Firefighters, IAFF Local 627, have set up a GoFundMe page to raise money to assist the families of Ivan, Zachary, Greg, and Eric with anything they need. That's only been up for a few hours, and we already have $12,000, $12,385 as of a few minutes ago. The link to the GoFundMe page is on the City of York website and also on all the city social media accounts. We also have been made aware of two candlelight vigils that have been planned. The first will be held at 8 p.m. tonight at the corner of Walnut Street and Broad Street. Parking is available at the Good School. This vigil is being organized by the residents there on Walnut Street. The second vigil, organized by the Southern Pennsylvania Incident Network, will be held at the Good School tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. And I want to apologize ahead of time for being unavailable for this event. I did just learn that Representative Carol Hill Evans will be available. On behalf of the City of York, the York City Fire Department, and the people of York, words cannot express our appreciation to everyone who has reached out to us during this dark time. Earlier today, a site safety plan was developed for 127 North Broad Street, and here to talk about this is City of York Emergency Coordinator Cody Santiago. After his statement, we will not be answering any further questions regarding the investigation of the site. Please direct all questions to the ATF who has taken over that investigation. Thank you. Cody?
Thanks, Ron. I'll give you a live look right now. We're on the outside of the Memorial Hall. Take you right here where the firefighters have been lined up out here right in front of all the trucks and apparatus since a little bit before 11 a.m. And right now they are gathering up, and you'll see they are marching into Memorial Hall single file. It's a pretty powerful moment here, and it's just incredible to look around and see all the different patches of where these guys are coming from today. We've seen lots of firefighters from around the Susquehanna Valley, across Pennsylvania, Maryland, even as far away as Boston, Massachusetts. And you talk to these guys, they talk about their brotherhood. They said there's no hesitation when an incident like this happens, when a firefighter loses their life. They show up in numbers. They show up to show their support for that fire company, for that family, and for the phrase they use over and over again, the brotherhood that is firefighting. Now, I'll give you a look at just a few minutes ago. What all these folks were lined up for was the arrival of the families. They were led in by police escort right around 11:30 or so, as they came in right through the center of the firefighters lined up at attention and directly to the parking spots in front of Memorial Hall. And there's a few dozen vehicles. It was families of Ivan Flanscha and Zach Anthony, along with other people close to those families who were a part of that special convoy heading in here today. Now, in a moment that just you could not ever write in a Hollywood script, at that, essentially that very moment that the family was arriving here, maybe about a quarter of a mile from where we were standing right now, an actual structure fire, smoke high into the air. And the firefighters we talked to said everybody was kind of chomping at the bit to want to go and respond to that fire, because as they said, that's what firefighters do. They saw that smoke and they wanted to respond. What's interesting is I talked to a Lancaster City firefighter who said those are our guys responding, because obviously York City Fire is here today. So Lancaster City, Harrisburg, other Susquehanna Valley fire companies are covering York City. So think about that. While York City is here for this, their brotherhood, those brothers, were for them covering that fire that was really just over the shoulder from where we were standing.
On guard! Prepare to carry colors. Carry colors. Pipe major, by your command.
I'd just like to speak a little bit about the firefighters, who they were, and what they meant to us in our city. You know, I did get asked earlier, talk a little bit about those firefighters, and you know, they're both great. They were both great firefighters. Different personalities, which was great. Which is what was great about them. Ivan Flanscha, very laid-back guy. Never got rattled, never got excited. Whether he was going to a structure fire, a trash fire, or always very, very, very calm. Zach was our jokester. Everything he said was funny. People liked to be around him. Just a great all-around fun guy. People enjoyed working with him. But what they did have in common is they were both great, dedicated firefighters. And for that, we're going to miss them. The mayor mentioned some of the support that we've been receiving, and we cannot say enough, thanks enough of all that we have received. We have been people reaching out to us in our community, in our city, fire departments from around the country, people dropping food off. There's flowers up at our stations. There's we recognize that. We may not be able to get out and thank you individually, but thank you. You know, it's that support that's going to get us through this. And again, thank you for that.
This time, think you got it together. Got your whiskey and those lines. Now, girl, haven't they taught you better? Don't need to know the wrong and right. Judge is sending you a letter. You've been thinking about taking flight. They tell me, hey, yeah, no need to get excited. Hey, yeah, just take it from the heart. Girl, this ain't no dilemma. Darling, there ain't no need to cry. You'll carry these problems now forever. You'll keep them with you till you die. They say that, hey, yeah, no need to get excited. Hey, yeah, just take it from the heart. Hey, yeah, no need to get so frantic. The neighbors are my jury. I can't make it from here alive. Girl, this ain't no dilemma. Darling, there ain't no need to cry. You carry these problems now forever. You'll keep them with you till you die. They say that, hey, yeah, no need to get excited. Hey, yeah, just take it from the heart. Hey, yeah, no need to get so frantic. The neighbors are my jury. Can't make it from here, well, hey, yeah. Hey, yeah, just take it from my This next one, it's called Sad Little Girl.
Sad little girl, won't you wipe your tears away? So much to live for, with only so much time. For the sky above, the stars in night, wind and trees and a cool breeze. Sad little girl. I need you to believe that I need you. Try to give some, try to believe in me. For the sky above, the stars in night, where I'll hold you in the night. Sad little girl. Well, live for your smile, if only once in a while. Try to give some, try to believe in me. For the sky above, the stars in night, wind and trees and a cool, cool breeze. Sad little girl, I wish I could erase all of those things that made you so sad. 'Cause I love you, yeah, I love you, yeah, I love you, how I love you.
Do Suffocate. I wrote this song for my ex-wife after she left me, so. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2. There's no more. That's when she said it's over. She's got me on my knees. She knows what makes me bleed. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. She's got me on my knees. She knows what makes me bleed. Suffocating me. You're so sure we can't get back there no more. She's got me on my knees. She knows what makes me bleed. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. She's got me on my knees. She knows what makes me bleed. Suffocating me. She's gone home, back to her mom and father. She flew back on her broom. Now I think she is through. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. She flew back on her broom. Now I think she is through. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. Suffocating me. Suffocating me.
I'm here with Scott Kleinen and Ivan Flanscha from Road Trip. Now, okay, how long have you guys been Road Trip?
We started about 2002. We actually met at our children's bus stop one time, and it turned out I said, "You play guitar?" "Yeah, I play guitar too." And we got together, and probably within we got some songs and polished them up, and within about 2 weeks we were out playing, and we've been doing it ever since. It's about 2002.
So now when you perform, you guys do a mix of original stuff and covers.
Correct. Yeah, we like to work some originals in. I try to shy away doing too many original songs simply for the fact that people have never heard them before.
They like to rock out within.
Right, they want to be able to sing along and dance and everything, you know. So we tend to stick to covers, and but we have a very wide variety of music. That everything from we do some folk, some country, to rock, a little bit of punk. You know, I mean, a little bit of everything.
So now the stuff you played today, that's all original. You guys wrote it.
Yes, that's all original.
So you're the lyricist.
Yes.
And then Ivan, you rock out on the
I do
additional
what I can.
music.
Yeah.
You do.
I fill in around
You work
him,
on it.
So.
I mean, the strings were amazing. Like, how long have you guys actually been playing? Like, when did you start learning how to do this?
I was a late bloomer. I didn't actually get serious about the guitar until I was probably about 21, 22. I mean, I'd strummed around on a little bit, but as I said, I met with my friend Bobby, and he said, "Hey, you need to do that. That's a D chord. You do that. That's a G." And I can't read music, but
So you write it without actually even being able to write it down?
or I just have it all up here. Yeah, I just know how I want it to come out. And
He has a good natural instinct. He really does. For
So
music.
all you guys, when you play, you just keep everything up in your head?
pretty much. Well, if there's something that I like and we want to keep it, I mean, I'll write it down. And I have a book that's probably about this thick, all full of songs that we've polished off and everything, and I just like to keep that on hand that way, because there's some times where, when you're playing out, you keep doing the same song too many times, it starts to get stale, so it's nice to go back and say, "Well, it's been 10 years since we played this one, let's do that,"
Well, I know you guys said that you have been playing like every other weekend since you guys have been together, sometimes even more. How do you...
Sometimes we play, for a while we were going real, that's when we were younger too, huh? But we used to play out almost every Friday and Saturday night religiously. And the kids started getting older, they need more attention, and I can't be out every single night doing that anymore. I got responsibilities, so.
So how do you guys balance being like gods of the rock and roll bar circuit and then, having jobs, family?
Well, the family comes first.
Yeah, absolutely,
This is
family's
just for
first.
fun.
So it's still
my
fun?
opinion.
It's still
Yeah,
fun
it is
after all
fun.
these years?
Oh, always.
That's why we do
When
it.
it's not fun anymore, I won't be doing it. So, I'll hang in there.
There's no dreams
I'll be old.
of
I'll be old
being
and gray
stars
before
or
I quit.
anything like that. This is for
You're not trying to
enjoyment.
head to LA,
No,
out to Nashville?
Not me anyway.
No, I don't. I think that opportunity could have happened maybe when I was 20 years younger. I could have been marketable maybe. But like I said, I mean, just playing out now in the local circuit is fine for me, and we have a good fan base. Because we've played local for so long. There's a lot of people that come out and see us all the time. But like I said, my family's the most important thing, and I got a good job. And can I say the name of it?
You can.
Fox Pools.
Ooh, Fox Pools, check them out, check them out. So now, for both of you guys, like, what makes you come up with these ideas for the songs and for the music? Like, I know you said you have one that was dedicated to your ex-wife, you have a song for your daughter. What makes you just decide you need to sit down and start writing?
Lack of something to do. a lot of times, there's times I'm just bored, and I would have to say most frequently it happens. I'll be at work or I'll be driving my truck or whatever, and I'll just have this thing going on in my head, and I'll get home, get my guitar out, and I put words to it, and just I got one verse, and I got another verse, and I got a chorus, and I just keep adding to it. And
Right.
I let Ivan say, "Hi, and why don't you come over and check this out?" And Ivan's like, "Hey, I like that," and so I put it in that big black book of mine.
I'd written quite a bit of music before Scott and I got together, and it happened pretty much the same way. Something would be in your head, you'd just start messing with it, and something would come out. So I don't know if that's a universal way people do it, but it works for us.
Okay, so where, if people decide they are obsessed and want to become road trip groupies, where can they find you?
We play mostly at, we're at the Valley Tavern in Seven Valleys, Kicking Cadillacs in York Haven. We play at the Overbrook out in West York.
You have that, you have a website, Facebook?
I do have a Facebook website. I incorporate that with Road Trip.
I know, technology, right?
It's with my other band, the Kodiak Band. Now that band's a full 4-piece band. We have Ivan's the lead guitar player with that band as well. We have a drummer and a bass player. But I do have information about Road Trip on the Kodiak Facebook site. So.
Okay, so facebook.com, is it just facebook.com, Kodiak?
Kodiak Band.
Kodiak Band?
Kodiak Band on Facebook.
Awesome, very cool.
And that also lists all the dates
The stuff that
for
we
Road
do
Trip
too,
and everything.
yeah.
Okay, so when is your next gig? What's your next show coming up?
Cadillacs.
Kicking Cadillacs at York Haven. I think that's next weekend.
15th?
The 15th.
Yes.
So February 15th, you guys will be at Kicking Cadillacs up in York Haven.
And then
Awesome.
Valentine's party.
And then we're playing at Carrie's Greens for a Valentine's Day party. That's February 16th.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's really nice. Got some nice food in there, too.
Okay,
forward to
so admit it. Did you ever use the whole music thing to get chicks?
Yes.
Oh, of course. In fact, I think that's how I actually, my current wife, Carrie, I actually met her on a website, which I'm not very ashamed to admit, but
The wave of the future.
But she came out to, in fact, the very first date her and I ever had, Ivan couldn't make it. He's a firefighter, and he got called into work. So I was stuck doing a solo show. And this was at the Red Line Tavern. And I had forgotten my set list. And Carrie was new to the area. She's originally from Maryland. Had no idea where we were. She got in my car and drove home and got lost. Trying to find my house so she could go run upstairs and grab this set list, and so she called. But that was her very first road trip experience, and she comes out to every single one of our shows now. I think she's our biggest fan.
Number one. Yeah.
Yeah. My wife's our number one fan. Absolutely.
Super cool. And you just use it to get all the women everywhere.
Used to. It's been a long time.
Right.
Yes.
Forms.
Yeah.
The good boy now.
Yeah, he used to have really long hair. And
Yeah,
beard
it
and
used
like
to be
that.
all that.
What?
That was before the fire department. It was years ago.
So did the fire department come out and...
Yes. We have some of the guys sit in with us and play along, and a lot of the guys come out and hang out.
Rockin' firefighters.
Yeah, there's quite a number of them.
Nice. So now, are both of you guys actually from the York area? You grew up around here?
I'm from California, said the San Francisco Bay Area.
You ended up here.
I
How?
know. 49ers just lost. It was depressing, but I lost money on that too, by the way.
Go Ravens!
Yeah.
I grew up a Navy brat. My father was in the Navy, and I was actually born in Newport, Rhode Island, and then after that I was everywhere. I went from I was in Maine, Alaska, Florida. I was in Ireland. I was in Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, Sweden, France, Spain. Been everywhere.
And after all that, you guys picked here. What made you decide to stay here and play here?
Well, I came back only because my father was, when he got stationed here in the Navy, and we came here, I was in 6th grade, and I actually went from 6th grade to 12th grade at York Suburban, and it was the first time in my life that I'd lived in one place for that many years, and so I kind of considered this my home. And,
So you're a suburban boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so after I went to school in Munich, and after I got tired of Europe, I came back here, and I moved back here in 1990, I believe.
And it's been home ever since?
Yep, I've been here ever since, yeah.
And you didn't go back to sunny California?
I will. Once my kids are off to college and I retire, I'll
So
be heading
we
back,
get to enjoy you while we can.
Yes.
Limited engagement.
It'll be a while yet. My youngest got quite a few years ago yet. So.
Okay, so when is the album coming out, guys? When?
2014.
2014. There you go. That's a good answer.
That's a safe bet. So we've been talking about it for
wait.
some time.
Yeah, it's hard finding. First of all, recording an album on that type of a level on a professional grade could be very expensive and very time consuming, and you know, and not to mention the effort that needs to be put in. And you know, with Ivan being a firefighter and with my job in the day, I mean, I have no, especially during the summertime when all the swimming pools are opening up and everything, there's hardly any time. It's just a matter of trying to coordinate something. You know, it's like you can just go in and record an album in one day. You know, it's something you got to keep going back and going over and going back and going over. And,
Like with writing the songs.
and yeah.
That is too cool.
But we'll
That
get
is
it
too
done.
cool.
We'll let you know
we'll
when we
get it
do.
done, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as the album is out.
You'll be on the list.
All right.
So,
Yeah,
Awesome.
you're getting the first copy. We'll even autograph it for you.
Welcome back to News 8 at 10. More on the breaking news in York. 2 York City firefighters have been killed in this evening's building collapse at the former Weaver Organ and Piano Company, which burned yesterday.
News 8's Becca Hendrickson is live in York with what we know.
The firefighting family that gathered inside City Hall tonight was choking back tears as the mayor announced the death of 2 of the city's own. One of them is 29-year-old Zach Anthony, and the other is 50-year-old Ivan Flanscha. You're looking at Ivan's picture right now. He was recently named York City's Firefighter of the Year. Both of them died in the line of duty today as they were working to put out hot spots inside of the old Weaver Organ and Piano building and also investigating the cause of that fire from yesterday. The chief says that these 2 firefighters were the people you wanted on the scene and they were the cream of the crop.
These are the guys that you wanted on the fire truck. If you had to call 911, you wanted these guys getting off the truck when they showed up. These guys were dedicated. They were York City Fire Department, and they were York City. They loved this city, they loved their job, and they were doing what they wanted to do.
2 more firefighters were injured in the partial building collapse as well. One of them is the Assistant Chief Greg Outland, and the other is firefighter Eric Swanson. Both of them are recovering in the city's hospital. The chief says that they're pretty bruised up, but they will be okay. Live in York, Becca Hendrickson, WGAL News 8.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm so glad to see Greg and Eric here. Your recovery is our recovery. So I'm glad to see you guys. Thank you, Brandon and Don, for everything you've been doing to help the families and everything everybody's been doing to help the families. There's nothing more important to most of us than our families. And there's nothing more honorable than when individuals and their families agree that the welfare of their friends and neighbors, and even people that they don't know, is so important that they are willing to face injury and even death to protect the lives and treasures of the others. This is the quality we see in our heroes and their families. The members of our armed forces, our police officers, our sheriffs, our marshals, of course, our firefighters and their families all share this altruistic quality. To live this way is a sacrifice that many of us can never understand. We all live in a world where we know that the end of our days will come. But most of us take a path that avoids the dangers, the threats, the risks to our lives. A select few choose a narrower path, a path that centers in on the danger and takes them directly toward it, so that we may have the freedom to feel more secure. Every day that they come to work, they are offering up their own lives and the peace of mind of their families, so that we and our loved ones can feel that there is safety and order in the lives of our families and our community. A day does not go by in the city of York where we don't hear the sirens. We see police cars and fire engines racing across town. How often do we think of the sacrifices of those sons and daughters, those husbands and wives, the moms and dads, grandparents and cousins that are in those vehicles? How often do we think of their families? How often do we really internalize the decision that they have all made for us? Where would we be without their sacrifice? On a dark occasion such as today, I think we all can agree that we need to do more to show our thanks for the loyalty that our heroes show to us every day. I've seen it in so many ways. Today, Jose Burgos brought up a notebook with signatures of people. That was the way he found that he could give support, just going out and talking to people and bringing back to our firefighters the signatures of those in support. There's been an amazing support over the last 5 days, and that is a strong statement of thanks from you all. The incredible donations of food and rooms, over $75,000 already raised on the GoFundMe page, with me getting calls every day about more groups that are going to support. These are all great expressions of your appreciation. The fire companies from all across the area who stepped in to cover our city while our firefighters began to process this tragedy and prepare the proper remembrances have shown their devotion to their brothers. The police officers, the EMTs, the sheriffs, York Hospital staff on Thursday night into Friday morning, and International Association of Firefighters provided services that will not soon be forgotten. I'm thankful on this day that I can represent the residents and the business owners of York City in saying to our firefighters and their families, thank you, and we love you for all you do for us every day. Thank you all for joining us to show your support, respect, and love for our firefighters and their families. I will now be joined by my friends and elected officials, State Representative Carol Hill Evans, Council President Henry Nixon, and is Representative Kristen Phillips Hill here also? And we will present to the families of Ivan and Zach a small token of our support from the people of York. Council President Nixon will join me to present a joint proclamation from York City Council and myself, as well as a key to the city of York for each of the families. Representative Hill Evans will present Kristen Phillips Hill will present condolence resolutions from the PA House of Representatives. If you'll join me over here at the table, please.
this was a chance for the York community to say goodbye to the firefighters. And I talked to some of the folks in the crowd on the corners of Continental Square this morning, and they said it was a real eye-opener seeing the casket on the back of the fire truck. A funeral procession for firefighter Ivan Flanscha traveled down George Street before turning onto Market. A flag-draped coffin rode on the back of a fire engine. About 300 people stood on all four corners of Continental Square and watched the procession go by. This was around 9 o'clock this morning, and it was emotional for some of them.
To have a day like this, it's sad, but I'm glad to see that the community's coming out to support the fire department.
It's just really sad and disheartening. I felt so bad for the families, and so we came down to pay our respects.
Raising awareness of the sacrifice these guys give up. They put their lives on the line every day to go and make things safer for us.
Another funeral procession will be held on Thursday for firefighter Zach Anthony. Now, Fire Station 1 is about 2 blocks from the square, and you can see the large gathering of items out in front of the fire station right now. Teddy bears, flags, balloons. It's a way for the York community to tell these guys how they feel about them. In York, Ed Weinstock, WGAL News 8.
A public memorial service to remember both firefighters is set for tomorrow at the York Expo Center. Representatives of the International Association of Firefighters, along with city leaders, toured the Expo Center yesterday.
We're here just making sure everything is perfect. They gave their lives for their community, and we want to make sure that every detail is covered here.
The memorial service will feature traditional pipes and drums, an honor guard, a final bell ceremony, and the presentation of the Medal of Valor to the families of both firefighters. Firefighters from all over North America are expected to attend the service.
On.
York to engine 99-1, firefighter Flanscha. York to engine 99-1, firefighter Anthony. York to engine 99-1, firefighter Flanscha. York to engine 99-1, firefighter Anthony. The last alarm for firefighter Flanscha and firefighter Anthony has now ended. They have gone home.
Ready? Face!
Thanks for joining us on another amazing episode of Spotlight, a production of Culture in Maine, York's cultural showcase. We want to hear your ideas, and we want you to be a part of the show. Whether you're an artist or a fan, send us an email to cultureinmaine@gmail.com. Check us out on the web at wrct.tv, or make sure to find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/White Rose Community TV. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great week. We'll see you soon, right here on the corner of Culture in Maine.
Now you know what noise.